officially locked in with DJ Scenario.
What's up, y'all? You know how it goes down. Welcome to another episode of Locked In. I'm your host, DJ Scenario. I got a special guest in the building, my man, Gem Gallardo. He's in the spot, man. What's up, man?
What's up, brother? Man, listen, we here. We in the building, man.
You know what? I feel like this is a full circle moment.
Yes.
Because you've interviewed me before. You know what I'm saying?
True.
For some things you had going on. And I just want to say thank you.
Okay.
First and foremost, I want to give you flowers for since we've been in each other's lives. We have worked together so much, and you have been such a genuine person. Like everything you not only have put together and we worked on together, which has turned out amazing. All the things you do for artists, you know what I'm saying? Artists, independently, what you have done for yourself. You know what I mean? As a label exec, as an A&R, as a producer, magazine owner, label owner, you wear a lot of crowns. Let's put not hats. You wear a lot of crowns for a lot of different things you got going on. And I'm glad to have you on the show today. You know what I mean? So that the people could tap in and now get to know who you are.
I appreciate it.
You know what I mean? Because you're always on the other side. But I want the people to know who you are now. You know what I mean? So let's start there. Who is Gem Gallardo? Why Gem? You know what I mean?
So Gem, a lot of people don't know, Gem is actually short for Jemadari.
Okay.
Jemadari is Swahili for general.
Okay.
So, but it's spelled with a J.
Yeah.
I put the G in front of it because it just looks better, right?
Well, are you Swahili? Like, where did this come from? Why pick that? You know what I mean?
This came from being up top. You know
okay. Yeah. For the people that don't know, because, not everybody's familiar what up top means. It does mean incarcerated.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? My man, Gem, had a stint in his life where, he was on that path, but we on a different path now.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So up top, let's start there again. You was up top and you got this name. Okay.
Yeah. So I had a bunkie that, we was having a conversation. We was both writing music.
Okay.
And he's the one that came up with the name. Yeah. Right? He was trying to use it for himself.
Did he call you the entire name?
Nah, he was trying to use it for himself.
All right.
So when I heard it, I was like, damn, that sounds fire.
How do you fight over the name? Like, how do you come to agreement? I'll take that name.
Because he didn't fit it. I'm being
okay.
Like, it just wasn't, it didn't, you know what I mean? Like we was going through different names.
Yeah.
And he came up with it, and he's the one that educated me on what it meant. Mm-hmm. Looked it up, realized it started with a J, and I was like, I don't like the J.
Yeah.
I'm a G, gentleman, gangster. Everything I felt like the G represented. I said, Gem Gallardo. It sounds fire.
Yeah.
So went with it, broke it down to Gem because everybody's.
As long as I knew you, I've never known that this is where it comes from. It's just a gem. You would think like, okay, gem. You know what I mean? Just exactly what it is. But it's, but how deep it is, how deep it gets with that name is crazy.
Because I could break it up, but the funny thing is, like, I've always throughout the years when I was younger, I used to always get people that used to say that. Yeah. You're like a gem, you're like a gem. Mm-hmm. So it all made sense. That's why I said that was for me. Like when I heard it, I said, that's me right there. But I embody that though. Like the general's a leader. He's the old school generals lead first. Mm-hmm. And then the army come behind him. You know what I'm saying? They don't put the army in it. Absolutely. I'm not gonna ask somebody to do something that I haven't done already or that I'm not willing to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now, just so you know, you're the only person, the first person to interview me in person. Officially, because I don't usually do interviews.
See, I don't scenario, man.
So you about to get a lot out of this. I promise you, like, I'm about to do a press run soon, but you're the first, like, a legitimate person interview. Period.
So, it's only right, though. It's like, I didn't even know why. You know what I'm saying? It's only right.
You locked in,
you know what I'm saying? We locked in. We definitely locked in, and not even just on the show. We locked in life, you know what I mean? He already knows that. So let's get down to it. You say you was rapping while you were up top, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I used to want to be an artist.
Okay.
Years ago, right? Yeah. So I've always been writing music since I started with poetry first, actually. Mm-hmm. To be exact, the first time that I went up top is when I tapped into my poetic skills. Okay. Because I always like music. And I used to write a little something, but nothing real. But then when I started seeing how I put down the poetry, I was like, I could write music. Like, this is similar, right?
Yeah.
And then I always heard people talk about bars and stuff like that. I taught myself how to count bars because counting bars is like, I always compare it to women jumping double dutch.
Yeah.
You notice they always like,
and there's a time.
It's the same thing with the beat. You listen to the beat, you know when to start.
Yeah.
And then when you listen to the beat, it has a 4-tap. That every 4-tap is a bar. You know what I mean? So I just started listening to music and really listening to it. Not just the record, but like listening to the structure. And I realized, oh, this is how you do a hook. You know what I mean? With X amount, you could do a 4-bar hook, repeat it twice, or 8-bar hook, repeat it once. And then you break it down. I start understanding how to count syllables. And play with flows. So that's why it's easy for me to work with artists and tell them something, because I really know how to do this. And so I started just taking the poetry, making music, and then I just really realized like I really could write. You know what I mean? Now I kind of wanted to be an artist at first, but then I didn't like what being an artist entailed. I like the business side because I'm more into business. So I said I'll write, but I'll write for people. And I started doing that. So I started.
Is that something now that happened? You get your name while being incarcerated. You learn how to rap. You know what I mean? You learn how to rap. You learn the music inside. Then you come home, and then what is your first step? What is this like? What is the life you trying to live after? Like, you know what I mean?
That's a good question, because while I was in solitary, I met a kid that was, and this is funny because he was my neighbor, right?
Okay.
So when I was up north, I was the guy that if I was there, you never know I existed. I wasn't really trying to talk to people. I knew everybody. I knew a lot of people, but I didn't like socializing much. You know what I'm saying? And in solitary, we was double bunked. So my bunkie, which is crazy, man. Shout out to Black O'Macko. He's one of the original first files of the Blood Gang, right?
Okay.
And he was my bunkie, and he used to go out he used to be out of the cell a lot. And then every time he was gone, I'd be just sitting there in my solitude writing music. And then the kid next door, he used to always be, so the desk that they have in there, it's like a wall, your desk, and then their desk next door is connected to the same desk. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So when they bang on it, it's like they right in the cell with you. So this dude used to be banging, making beats, pissing me off, bro. Like I'm talking about, but I'm listening to him. I'm like, all right. You know what I'm saying? He's dope. So I'm writing, and then I never used to talk to him. And then one day he hit the wall. Boom, 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 boom. I was like, yo, what's up? He's like, what's up, bro? Like, yo, what's going on? You never speak, man. You mad quiet over there. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, I said, I'm writing. He said, I knew it. And I ain't telling him what I was writing. I just said, I'm writing. He said, I knew it. You write music, right? I said, yeah. He said, bro, you hear me rapping here every day. You never come to the gate or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So we started kicking it. And then he was like, yo, let me hear something. So now, if solitary, everybody can hear you. Like, the walls is thin. Like we used to speak through the vent, like a phone, or if you just speaking in your cell, like everybody can hear you because the walls is thin. So now you hear other dudes like, word, let me hear something. Let me hear. Like mad dudes, I'm like, this dude right here done put me on the spot.
So now the whole floor is like, yo, let me hear something.
They tapped in. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm in the mood. I just wrote some fire. Let me spit it. I spit it. Dude was like, yo, bruh, that shit's hard. Like, you know what I mean? So then I told him, I was like, I've been listening to you, and I was critiquing it. You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, yo, I'm going to write something for you, and I'm going to tell you how to spit it, and I want to hear you do it. Once I did that and he did it, I said, yeah, I'm going to write for this kid. I like the way he executed that. You know what I mean? He got the swag. He's swaggy. Mind you, I don't even know what he looked like up to that point. I never seen him. The only way you can know how he look is when you going out your cell, they got your picture on the front of the cell.
Okay.
But I never looked at that, and I never seen them. And when you walk out and they look on the glass, when you outside the cell looking in through the glass, the people still look totally different than what they look like when they come out. So we doing this for a while. I'm on the vent, rapping some stuff, and we going back and forth, we building. Then he's like, yo, I want you to manage me, man. I'm about to go home soon. When you going home? I was like, you'll be home before me. I go home I think at that time I was going home in like a year or something like that. He was going home in like 6 months. Something like that. But he went home, we was building. He said, yo, like, I'm serious about this. When you come home, bro, we on. So I was like, all right. But while I was there waiting for my extra 6 months before I came home, he was home. He was already doing a little something himself. So as soon as I came home, we got to it. We started doing it. The kid was killing all the showcases. He was trending. He was doing his thing. And he ended up catching a 10-year bid. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, yeah.
Like right when we was there, you know? And it's crazy because he just came home.
Yeah.
And he did Gem's house party. I had him come through. He did one of the Gem's house party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's doing his thing though. I'm just glad he back. But that's how that started. Like that's when I really started moving. And then after that experience, I kind of like fell back a little. I'm like, damn, like all that work, and then he locked up.
Yeah.
So I was like, I kind of was falling back from it, and then
it kind of puts a damper on what you.
Yeah, because it takes away. You put in a lot of energy, whatever, and then what I mean, it's like waste. So a childhood friend of mine's, he know how I move, and he was like, yo, I got an artist. I'm like, bro, I don't even want to hear about an artist right now. You know what I'm saying? He's like, nah, this kid different.
Yeah.
Like I said, everybody say that. He said, bro, I'm telling you.
That's true. Everybody does.
Yeah, they gonna always say
I got the one.
Yeah.
All right.
But I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was different. He was star, like instantly, like he was the man. And he brought it. He said, yo, I'm gonna bring him to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you be the judge, bro. And at that time, I was living in Brooklyn. Nobody really knew where I lived at. So to even allow, even him, like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't telling nobody where I live at. To have a stranger come pull up to the crib. So he pulls up, and I said, spit something. Dude is mad animated. He just got that natural performance, like energy. And the lyrics is crazy. He making beats on his chest on some prison shit. He doing his thing. Yeah. So he doing his thing, and I'm like, this dude. And I got the poker face though. I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? In my mind, I'm like, yeah, that's the one right here. So he just kept going through a different catalog, different types of music, different sounds. He do anything. What impressed me the most about the kid though, he literally created. He got an alter ego that's from the UK.
Okay.
He literally can make the dialect, the UK dialect, he can literally emulate it. And he has different characters with different bios. Yeah. Like they got different names, different history. He created multiple UK artists that he literally enact. Like it's crazy. And he do reggae, he was doing it all. This kid is bananas. But unfortunately, I end up wasting my time again.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Because his situation with the girl he was with or whatever, and him doing what he was doing, like he was telling us that she was trying to lock him down, and then come to find out he was lying to her, telling her he going out with us when he really out with a girl. So the times I'm trying to get him out, he said he can't go. Really, he was out. He just was using it to go. It was just a lot, you know what I mean? And then then me and him bumped heads. It was just a lot. I just let it go. So unfortunately, I went down a hole again, and then I didn't want to do it for a while. I started, really what took it to the next level is meeting Diamond. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you, because when I first met her, she looked and she was just seeing the people I was around. And she was like, "Hey, that kid."
Was it like a perfect match? Yeah. When or you felt like you met her at the right time? Absolutely. In your life?
It was definitely timing. It was definitely timing, because I feel like if I didn't, she brought a different level of structure and organization. Like she's very sharp on the administrative side and all. Yeah. She also is a woman, so a woman, they have the intuition. They
shout to the sis though. She gets it done.
Absolutely. Yeah. And she's very, very thorough. Like, and she's more behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? But she's very thorough, and she also keeps me in check. Where I be going off calls, she checks me heavily. Yeah. And she's the only person I really listen to on that level. You know what I mean? Shout out to Diamond. Yeah. You know what I mean? GGMG.
No, I say that because I know how she is, because I work with you for so long. Absolutely. And I know she's really like, let's make this happen. Let's get this done. This has to get done. This has to get done. And I say that to say, when you brought your vision of what you wanted to do, how was that when you met her? How was that connection, and how was that conversation, or like, I would basically let's make this let's make this GGMG or you know what I mean, like how do we get there, you know what I mean, from that first conversation with her, to meeting her, to finding the structure on the side that you needed the structure for with your enthusiasm and your mindset and your dream, where did that come? How did it come to fruition for everything to work out?
So the funny thing is, Diamond wasn't like versed in the industry at all. Right? Okay. But she wanted to be with me. Like, I want to learn this. I want to work with you. I want to be a partner. So I saw the value in her based off just her work ethic and stuff, right? And then, you know, it just, to me, it made sense because everybody loves to say, you can't do everything by yourself. You always do everything by yourself. And I'm still kind of like that at times. Even with her, I'm just saying like us, sometimes I don't even want to extend a hand. Nobody else, just us. It's always us. Because when you get burnt so many times, you extend yourself, you loyal, you official, and then you keep opening up doors.
It makes you very reserved. It makes you very reserved to who you want to deal with, who you want in your circle, and all that. So I understand.
Yeah, so years of us being like that, right? So she extended she pretty much put it on the table. Like, look, I'm going to be a partner, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Blah. And she would just sit and watch and learn. And she learned fast, like really fast, right? So she was watching what I was doing. I gave her like my dreams, things that I wanted to do. And she was like, okay. She gave me a different perspective, how to approach things. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, it just was the yin and the yang. You know what I'm saying? If it's a gem, it's definitely a diamond. And you know what I'm saying? You won't see one without the other. And even if she's not physically there, you know she's there. You know what I'm saying? Always going to show love and represent. So once we got that together, so the name came from an artist that we was working with. And he literally came up with the name and was like, yo, at the time when I was working with some other guys, I didn't have a solid name for the company. Matter of fact, I think I was calling it something else. I'm lying. I was calling it something else. And he was like, yo, why don't you call it GGMG? And I was like, what does that stand for? He said, Gem Gallardo Music Group. I said, I like that. But I really like the acronym, just the way it sounds. So I tell people I'm big on names and I'm big on pictures, logos and stuff. GGMG just sticks. It just got a ring to it. You know what I mean? So I said, GGMG, I like that. So yeah, so I went with it. And then, you know, we just got the company LLC'd and we started off with that. And then we just start and I already knew from watching other people do their showcases. From putting my artists into their showcases, the first one. And I watched how they structured it. And I also watched what not to do.
And before we get to that, I want to say that, so you dive in, you get the company, right? And you say, okay, I want to do this. Do you guys start with showcases, artist showcases? Is that where it starts for you? Yeah.
So I used to work for a guy at a hotel to do security. I was a bouncer, whatever. I wore whatever hat he needed. And at that hotel, I had access to the rooftop and a lounge. So I'm over here like doing the security thing, and all these people throwing these events there. I'm like, damn, like, you know what? I'm gonna use this.
Why don't you utilize the space?
So the first event that we tried to do, I say try because it was a dud. You know what I mean? It felt miserably, but it's doing trial and error. And we tried something, and only a couple of friends that we knew came, and it was just a bust. But I wasn't mad because I knew, like, when you just know where you're going. And you know, people, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I know some people that probably came there because, you know, people are funny. They'll talk shit like, oh, this shit's whack.
100%.
You know what I mean? They'll do that, and I know this, but it doesn't hurt me because I know. You know what I'm saying? I've always known everything. His was real. If anybody knows me, I got only a handful of people that knew me since I was like kindergarten. Literally, that's still in communication. They always said I'd never change, but the illest thing is for them to know that everything I said I was going to do over 25 years ago, I'm doing, which is crazy. I never stopped because I knew I would be doing this. And once we did that event, it was a bust. But then, and that wasn't really a showcase. Actually, that was I think we was doing a party or something. I can't remember. It was like a little event. It wasn't anything crazy, but it was just to see, you know, learn. And then our first official showcase was a success, even though it was a big monkey wrench. We had that same spot. He was going to throw it at the hotel. And then the guy who I worked for lost access to that. Him and the owner of the hotel had a beef, and I got caught between that. So event that I was promoting that, oh my God, the traction was probably the best ever. I'm talking about, if you would see the flyer that we made, you're going to laugh. It's a legendary flyer now because it was so basic and cheesy looking. What I did was, you know how when you get those flyers and already made and they got like a person? Took out the person, it was just a shadow. We left the shadow. And we call it no face, no case. Like, just, you know what I mean? But that cheesy flyer in that first event, it got shared so much. I remember Mickey Fax was like, yo, he was on tour somewhere. He was like, yo, what y'all doing out there, man? I was like, we thinking of something bad. I'm like, what's up? He's like, yo, man, I'm hearing about y'all event all the way out here. I'm like, word? He's like, yeah. So when he said that, I'm like, damn. But it was so many people tagging, like it was just people sharing the shit out of it.
Yeah.
But then it was on a Saturday. Then literally the day before the event, dude told me, can't do the event.
Oh, that's wild.
So now I'm like, since it's my first time, I'm like trying to figure this out.
Scrambling, trying to move the event.
Yeah.
It becomes a lot.
Yeah, but I found a dope venue, but it was a venue that was bigger than I should have got. And then I did it on a Tuesday, from a Saturday to a Tuesday. So I lost 85, 90% of the people that I had. Because one, it was a short notice change. And then on a Tuesday from a Saturday.
Yeah, people got to go to work the next day and stuff like that. Yeah.
It wasn't as much people. I mean, it was a good crowd, but for that venue, the venue was too big.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? The venue I had was perfect for the bodies I would have had. But till this day, that probably was one of my favorite shows. It was so like significant. You know what I'm saying? Like what we did, how we did it. It was just dope. Everybody loved it too. It was a great joint.
The inception of what GGMG is today.
Exactly.
Basically.
And it's good to look at that and then see where we came, how far we came. Like we went from first event, official event, not having really but maybe 5 people pull up, to filling up a theater with independent artists. No headliner, nothing big, just straight indie artists. You know what I'm saying? So it's a testament to persistence, consistency, determination, and just being locked in with people. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then we started doing that, and I just started like, I wear different hats, I do a lot of things. It's always based around entertainment, you know what I mean? And then I kind of pivoted, because I'm a fast track, because I don't want to, I pivoted from doing that with Diamond, like to just, and I told her, I said, yo, I want to transition to parties now. Like the showcase thing, I want to weed away from that.
Yeah.
But I realized
you have done so much though in the showcase space for many years for a lot of artists. You know what I mean? When I say that, my question is, you know, you have a record label. Did you know these artists, or did they stand out in like some of your showcases before you brought these artists into, you know, your label and everything you have going on, you know, from your magazine to your parties to more showcases to having your own independent label? You know, how do you sift through all these artists that you see and want to decide like, hey, you know, maybe I want to sign you to what I have going on? So, because you have a lot of great artists, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to know, what was it like for you to be like, you know, I think she will fit, or he will fit, you know, into what I have going on.
My problem is, and it's a problem because I try to save everybody. Yeah. That's a problem. You know what I mean? I mean well.
And you can't. That's one thing you can't. Say it again, you cannot save everybody, bro.
And I be like, in my mind though, I'm like, damn, like, so a lot of the artists we work with were artists that we met at our showcase or sometimes other people's showcases, but most of ours. Yeah. A couple of them was from other showcases. And it's like, I got a hell of an ear for music. The thing is, the problem is, I've always been able to have that, what's that word I'm looking for? That foresight, right? To see a talent that I know is going to make it. And a lot of them do, whether they're with us or without us, but I can see it, right? The problem is that I always find good talent, but the talent isn't always consistent.
The work has to be put in.
Yeah, the work is.
They're lazy. These artists be lazy as fuck.
It's a lie, bro. It's a lie.
These artists be lazy as hell, bro.
It's bad.
You can say it.
Yeah,
these artists be lazy as hell. They got the talent.
Unappreciative.
Yeah. That's why talent beats what you call. I mean, work and dedication beats talent any day, bro. I'm telling you. You know what I mean? And
it's sad.
And it sucks
because we've worked with so many artists throughout the years, behind the scenes, out in the open, whatever. You know, and I'm looking at some of them right now, big right now, making it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's dope. But then you got the other ones that could be that next one, but they either have, what's that word? Where they have, damn, my brain is freezing right now. Where they expect.
Yeah.
Like,
the entitlement is crazy.
Yeah. They have
entitlement is crazy.
They feel entitled.
Yeah.
They think managers are investors or bankers or whatever.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. They think you're supposed to do all this. They're late. they're lazy, they're inconsistent, attitude is crazy. Like, it's just everything and all the above. And then again, entitlement. You know, you spend money, you invest in them, you know, even though that's at your own volition. But you believe in them so much that where you can, you throw a little bit of money towards it. And it's just crazy, man. And then some artists, you got to deal with their whole personal life. It ain't even just the music. You got to deal with their relationships. You got to deal with their family issues. You got to deal with all that. And then on top of that, you gotta compartmentalize everything, and then you got to deal with your life, right? So it becomes overwhelming. So that's why we chop down significantly. And to be honest with you, we're at the point right now where we've poured into everybody else for so long. It's time to pour into us.
Absolutely.
This is why I pivoted.
I agree.
I pivoted into being a journalist. So first of all, that's my thing. I'm good at it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like now with the resources that I've gained over the years, the contacts, all kinds of stuff, I could put it together now. You know what I mean? And get it going. And as soon as I started pouring into myself, Skyrock is moving crazy. I'm getting calls from people that I'm like, how you get my number? Like, I'm glad you got my number. You know what I mean? I'm getting emails like from people like, I had a girl, she's on Shady 45, and I don't know, she came through my timeline or whatever, and I just reached out, you know, just hit her, followed her, whatever. And then I forgot what I said to her. Oh, I introduced myself because I was trying to open up a door of you know, potentially working. And then she was like, I know who you are. I was like, yeah. She said, I seen your work. You're dope. I was like, word? I said, okay, that's great.
Why is that hard to believe? Like, you put the face on, like, it's hard to believe, like, people haven't seen or people haven't been in tune with you. You know what I mean?
It's weird. So I know I've done a whole
And I ask you that because there's sometimes that people have said, oh, I know who you are to me too. You know what I'm saying? And not taking it away. And I say to myself, like, how do you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, wondering. But then I think to myself again, in another fucking breath, I say to myself, bro, you've been doing this a long time.
They should, they shouldn't.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. You've been outside, you've been in studios, you've been, you know, traveled the world, you've DJ'd here, you DJ there, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've helped a lot of people.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You've done a lot for your community, you've done this, like, so it's like, it's not so far-fetched that somebody heard about you.
Nah, you're right. But
so I'm asking you, is like, why are you so surprised when you put in the work?
You know what it is? Like, you do so much and you've done it for so long, but at the same time, the way my brain functions, I was just telling somebody this last night, no lie, right? It was at this dope event. Shout out to So Rich, fire event, man. I mean, he made a movie yesterday, you know what I'm saying? And while I was there, I was a VIP, but I was talking to somebody and I was like, you know something? I'm naturally humble. So even though I know I could walk directly in that door and skip this line, I still be standing in line. Bro. Dudes be having to come out and give me like, yo, bro, what you doing, man? Come inside, man. And, you know what I mean? But I'm like, I don't have that big head. I've always been like that. I'm normal, no matter what the situation is. So I forget sometimes the things that I do.
I can skip this line a little bit. You forget. You know what I'm saying? You forget that you can skip the line a little bit. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like that. Like I be like, I don't separate myself from everybody else, even though I'm not everybody else. But I'm always regular. That's how I move. I talk to everybody. People DM me, everybody DM me, I respond. If it makes sense, it ain't crazy, you know what I'm saying? Based on whatever's going on, I try to respond to every DM.
You're definitely a person that if I call you, answer.
Always.
I've never had to call you, and I swear, as many years, I've never had to call you twice.
Nah, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? We get on the phone conversation and we get things done.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Right. So you definitely are that person you're saying right now.
You know, Diamond don't like it, but I live with this. I thought I lost this last night. I got a little smacked. And I was smacked. I was smacked. And I came in, I remember taking off everything, the jewelry, all this shit, you know what I mean? Sitting in the living room, my boxes, just in the days, because I was tired.
And no phone, like, oh shit, where's my phone?
And I'm usually, 98% of the time I got this phone in my hand, no matter where I'm at, right? But it never fails. Every time I go out, I come in, the next day when I wake up, I always jump up. All right, let me replay last night. All right, make sure I put this, I use this, with my phone at. I always got it, because this is everything for me, right? Got everything in here. So I couldn't find it, and I'm losing my mind. She's calling it, and it's not ringing, and I know the ringer on, so I'm like, oh, don't tell me I left it in the car, don't tell me it fell out my pocket, something.
Or you turned the ringer off? Or you usually
it was on.
Okay.
That's the crazy part. It was on, but I couldn't hear it when she was calling. I'm like, well, I don't hear this. So that means I must have left it somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But then she finds it in another room. And I'm like, I don't remember. I remember everything else going in that room. How the hell that shit up there? But it was in another room. And I was like, ah. But again, to get back to what you were saying, not to digress, I've done so much and I forget sometimes some people like I might have done stuff for.
Yeah.
I had people run down on me like, yo, bro, I appreciate you, man.
Good looking out.
5 years ago, you did this like crazy stuff. Like, and I'm like, oh shit, wow. And dudes remember me, but I don't remember them sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, like, but when I really, this year, I said, it's no more being humble though.
Yeah.
I'm outside for real now. Like, you gonna know, we got a track record. We've done a lot of shit. And a lot of people don't know some things because again, I wasn't interviewing. I don't do interviews. I'm not, I do the work and it's what it is. But now I'm on a different type of timing now. I'm gonna be everywhere. You're gonna see me down, we everywhere now. So now I'm outside, you're gonna see me on every platform possible, interviewing. Yeah. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone because it's a lot of things I can't discuss. And I can only tell because one day I want to be able to tell my full story. Yeah. Can't say a lot of stuff, but the day I'm able to, you know what I mean? People will be very surprised to know what I've done, what I've been through, and how I'm here now. It's crazy. Because if you knew the original me, the old me, and what I've done and what I've been around and what I've encountered and endured, nobody would ever think I'd be this guy today. I'm a total different guy, bro. It's almost like a clone. They cloned me and they did it without the same personality and create a whole nother person. But it's a blessing because, rest in peace to my mother. My mother, I was like the baddest sibling out of the siblings. Okay. But if you ask any of my relatives on my mother's side or my father's side, they all say I'm their favorite. Yeah,
but do you consider it being, all right, being bad could be two different things for me, right?
Yeah.
Being bad in the sense of you doing bad things outside, right? Or being bad in the sense that you're the sibling that everyone calls when they need help. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Though. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Yeah. So this is funny because when I was growing up, I was always in trouble because I was doing I shouldn't do. But the same people that used to try to reprimand me for things that I shouldn't do are the same people that call me to do the things that I shouldn't be doing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was always the cousin, the brother, the son, whoever to call when they needed something cleaned up or, you know what I mean? But it was okay when it was that time. When I do it on my own, it's like, what are you doing? You crazy? Like, that's how people are. And that same analogy, that same thing, switch it to a different context, right? Yeah. People like when you offer yourself. But when you need them to offer themselves the same way, they don't do it. It's weird, right? People, because I'm like that, right? I'm usually the guy that I'm a connector. And I know a lot of people. And I've always been a guy that help people get jobs, and whatever. But I noticed that one day I was talking to Diamond. I said, you know something? Certain people that has always asked me for something, and I always, like you said, I'll pick up my phone for everybody. They always gonna catch me because I live with my phone. And I always answer, and they could ask me for anything. It don't even have to be beneficial. It's just the way I am. If I could do it, I know a person, I'm like, all right, give me a minute, I hit you back, and I make it happen, and I fall back. I don't ask for that. But then I sat back and I said, damn, but some people don't deserve that energy. And I tested it. I said, let me finally ask this one person for a favor, a very small favor too, nothing crazy. Yeah. And the person didn't do it. And I said, wow. I said, you know how much shit I did for this person? Yeah. Never asked for nothing, bro. I asked for a small favor and that person didn't do it. And I said, you know something? They about to see a new gem they ain't seen. I'm on some different type of timing now because I'm too nice. And I'm quick to say I don't care and brush things off. Diamond be like, are you crazy? You shouldn't. I ain't worried about that.
But you actually do care.
I do. You know
what I'm saying?
I just don't let it consume. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do. And I'm
there's a difference between caring and something consuming you.
Yeah, that's
100%.
True. That's true. You know what I'm saying?
And I do care how you handled our friendship just now. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I'm not letting it consume me because I'm going to keep going.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But I do care. It does set a tone for me with you now.
For sure.
Because at a drop of a dime, like you said, you will pick up. You're there. You've been nice. You're very helpful. So if I ask you for something small, you know what I'm saying, and you couldn't come through. Like, I just don't understand.
Yeah, it was crazy too. Like, and I was sitting there and I was like, wow, like, but I was like, I knew, like, see, the thing is, I know certain people when I help, I shouldn't, but I still do it. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it's my DNA. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And it was this one guy, he literally would call me all the time, ask me to connect things for him that he getting paid for.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
People, what I'm saying, he'll offer services that he can't really provide. He'll come to me to provide the services, but then he's the one getting the bread. And I do this, but I still would look out. One time I asked him for something small. I said, wow. I let it sit. I said, cool. Then he had the audacity to hit me up again for something. Dubbed him. Like, do I even got to explain this? People are funny, bro. Like, it's sad that it's like that. And I understand why a lot of people are assholes now. It's like, you ever had a teacher, and the teacher was the best teacher in the world, but kids used to disrespect that teacher. Yeah. And then now, at some turning point, that teacher is an asshole now. But some people only get to see the asshole. They didn't know that teacher was a nice teacher before. A good teacher, yeah. But they abused her so much that now she
has to be a certain way.
Yeah, and that's life. And I look at life like that. Like, just like I look at relationships, I look at people. I always tell people, you have to play Dr. Phil. You got to be a psychiatrist, right? You have to understand that every person out there that does something bad, they weren't born like that. They were innocent, cute babies at one point. It was a learned behavior, or it was a reaction to an action. And that's how I look at people. So I don't just judge people, right? I look beneath the surface. I try to be empathetic. I try to look beyond what I'm being shown. This is why I have some of the best relationships.
I have been in that same situations like that, where you try to see past all the fuck shit somebody's doing and really show them, like, yo, you could probably be better than the person you are being now. Like, just give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, I believe you could be a better person than I believe you could change. I can believe, but some people just, it's in their DNA to not want to change to, completely, and that sucks. It's like, because then now I have to change to fit, like you said, what I'm being shown.
Exactly.
And you don't want to become that person.
They force you, man.
You have to. You know, sometimes you have to.
It's like prison. You know what I mean? Like, you could be the nicest person in the world that made a mistake. As soon as they bring you into intake, you automatically, you don't even realize it. It's just a natural adaptation, evolution, or whatever you want to call it, transformation. You become a beast. You become something that you have to become. Because see, me, I'm always the same way though. Like, I'm always cool. I don't feel like I'm too tough to laugh. Like, some dudes don't want to laugh too much. They think you laughing a lot. Dudes look at you as a clown. I remember back in the days, I was really in the streets crazy. And I was the only guy that, when me and the guys that I grew up with were at like a house party or something like that, they would just hold down a wall and just be like, looking at taking mug shots, all screw faced up. And I'm the only one in the middle of the floor dancing. I'm turning up. I was a dancer.
Was you like break dancing? I would love to see that.
No, I do reggae. I was big on like reggae and all that. You know what I mean? No, I love reggae. I still love reggae. No, I didn't know how to break. I used to try. I wish I
would have paid to see that, bro. I would have paid to see you breakdancing.
I wish I could, but I was big on like reggae. I love reggae. That was my thing. So dudes, I used to always be dancing, and then I remember one of my mans asked me, he's like, yo, bro, like, why you always dancing, bro? And I'm like, yeah, that's why I got all the girls. Y'all just sit on the wall around guys. I'm with the ladies.
They circle jerking and you over there like,
exactly. You know what I mean? I want to sword fight and all that. I want to be with the jellyfishes. So, like, for real. So, like, I was always in my own lane and did what I wanted to do. I wasn't a follower. I was always a leader. That's why Gem Gallardo, General, fit me, because I wasn't, the following thing wasn't my thing. And I'm not saying it's wrong to follow if you're following a good leader. There's nothing wrong with following if you're following a good leader that's going to take you in the right direction. But I mean in the sense of like just being a follower, trying to be like somebody that it's not conducive. But I was like that, and I feel like dancing and just being yourself, people tend to judge you based off what they see and what they don't know. Like I said, going into prison, it will change you, because you have to adapt. We're humans. You have to adapt. You know that now you're in a space that's hostile. You're literally in a place that can pop off any second, every second of the day. You have to be less talkative, more of a more attentive. You can't be too friendly, because that's how they get you. You know what I mean? There's a thing they used to do back in the days, right? Where you come in, let's say you're in a dorm setting, right? And then the guy on the left or right of you, they'll start befriending you. Like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Where you came from? Now, that's the roping. You thinking it's like, I got somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
And they're going to talk to you. They're going to ask you, what you in for? Blah, 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 blah. Get an idea of what they dealing with. And then where you from and all that. And then as you start to settle throughout the day, you got that one person that you're going to keep talking to. He's your neighbor. He's the only one talking to you. And then you're going to just watch everybody else. But what you don't realize is the snake is the one that you're talking to. He's just trying to figure out how to rope you in. So now, while he's talking to you and chilling with you and all that, everybody already know what he's doing. So they playing their position. Yeah. They ain't saying nothing to you. They letting him do what he do. Then he gonna be like, yo, you hungry, bro? You know what I'm saying? He gonna get you some food and all that. Next thing you know, he gonna hit you with the, yo, when we go shopping, when we go to commissary, man, listen, man, these dudes be sneak thieving and all that, man. Just put your shit in my locker. They ain't gonna violate. Next thing you know, you got your shit in that man locker. That man, you coming to get some cake. Yo, what the fuck you doing in my locker? My food in there. Nigga, I ain't tell you can't go in my fucking locker, nigga. Yeah. Like, you like, nigga, my food in there. What food, nigga? That ain't yours? Now you just got swindled, the ultimate swindle. But it's so easy to get guys like that that's gullible. They don't know no better. You know what I'm saying? So it forces you to be an animal. Like if a dude talk to you, it's like, yo, why the fuck you talking to me? I don't know you, nigga. Damn, bro. Like, nigga, you don't know me, don't talk to me. Like, you got to come with that energy, unfortunately. And it's crazy. So if more people got arrested, they would be different. You wouldn't have as much disrespect. Coming. Yeah. You wouldn't have them. Because I'm going to tell you something. So every day I watch so many levels of disrespect in life, in the streets, right? On the smallest scale that people don't even think about. Like, if you in a max prison and you walk past a person's cell, like when you first come into the prison, you're allowed to walk past and look at briefly. Because everybody's going to be on their gate. They want to see who the new guy, right? They're gonna be there. You need to know, because if you got an enemy and he see you before you see him, he could put his arm through the thing and cut you. Yeah. So you got to look real quick to make sure you see who's on the floor. That's the last time you got to look in there. The next time you walk past that man's cell and you look in his cell, he's liable to come out, stab you, cut you or something. Why? Because people that look in people's cells are looking, they taking it like, you either gay. Yeah. Because you in your cell, you in your space, you in your boxes, you chilling in your cell, you know what I mean? You might not have the curtain up right now, but you in your boxes, it's hot in there, dude looking like, what the fuck you looking at? Or they looking, because they sizing up your cell to see where you got food buckets and stuff. So now when you're not there, you in the yard, and you coming, you ain't even get upstairs yet. Y'all coming back in. Yeah. They open up all the gates to the people that went to the yard before they get up there. So now Duke can run up in there, grab something real quick and run back out. You feel me? Now you come, you like, yo, what the fuck? Dude just sucked because he was watching to see what you had. Yeah. So dudes don't play that. So that being said, in life, in the streets, when you walk by people, like when you just look in people's faces, a person might, and it's sad because you might just be daydreaming. And that person happened to be standing there. Yeah. And that person like, what the fuck this nigga looking at? Fuck you look. You like, well, now, oh, my bad. You right? Yeah, like, dude just be looking dead at you, but then there's some people that really just be watching you. You're like, yo, why this dude watching me? I'm like that still. Like, I'll be out and I'll just turn around and I'll notice somebody looking because my instincts is heightened from my experience. I see things that average people don't see, and I see it. And I'll see a dude looking and I act like I don't see it. That's why, just so you know, this is why I wear shades all the time. Yeah. A lot of people don't know this. I wear shades all the time because I'm able to, like, these are lighter, but I'm able to look at you, but I can still be faced this way, but looking at him. So that's how I like to know what's going on without people know I know what's going on. So that's a habit of me wearing shades. But
so that's basically, that came from, you wearing shades all the time came from
the experience
you had and just watching and how to watch people.
You have to, because usually I wear, like, this is my regular everyday shades, but then I got the real dark ones where you can't see my eyes. But I'm like this, but I'm looking that way. I'm looking at everything else other than where my head is facing. You know what I'm saying? Because I like to see things that people don't think you see. You know what I mean? And there's always some funny stuff going on around people, and people be so, as much as I got my phone, I could look at my phone, but I'm still looking around all the time, because people think when you're on your phone, that's how that situation happened. You know what I'm saying? Because person ain't paying attention, person could walk around. That could never happen to me. That could never. When I go out with somebody, they'll tell you, I always pick the corner seats and I have to see the entrance. I'll never put my back to anybody, because even if I was on a train, I got to be my back against the door. Anywhere I'm at, I got to be back against something. I got to see everything. I can't have my back open. When I'm standing in the store with something, I don't like people standing behind me. I'll be like, yo, excuse me, or I'll turn sideways. I don't like that. Because I don't know if you saw that viral video of the lady that was on that train, I think it was a Metro North or something, and she was like a student. She was like 20 something,
and got stabbed by the guy.
Yeah, dude was just sitting behind her.
Wasn't that a bus? That was probably the bus. It was a bus or a train.
It was a train. I think it was a train. I think it was like a Metro North or something. Crazy. Like that. And he just stabbed her for no reason. And the worst part about it, not only did he stab her, he didn't leave.
Yeah.
He stood right there with the knife dripping, just standing there watching it, to the point where it took a while for people to even recognize what happened to her. And then when a guy went to her aid, the dude that stabbed her acted like he was trying to help too, still with the knife in his hand. Like psycho shit. You know what I'm saying? So I tell people, no matter how tough you are, it take a second for you to take your eyes off the scene, and a person can hit you. You be on a platform, a person will push you. I used to be the dumbass standing literally on the edge of the platform all the time. Like the fuck am I doing? Anybody could just tap me like a basic push, and I'm down. So I started standing. If I ever get on a train, like I'm way away from the platform. I'm in the middle somewhere. You know what I mean? Because there's crazy people running around out here. You know what I mean? But all those things molded me into who I am today. The businesses that you're referring to, all the accomplishments, a lot of the stuff that I've done came from old relationships.
Yeah.
When I was trying to figure things out, I had people numbers. I never used them because I had no reason to call them. And then now, years later, they surprised me. I still had the number
to use it. Yeah,
because I'm like, now I'm ready. I'm doing this. You doing it.
Do you feel like now that you like you said that, right? But do you feel like not nervous in a sense, but like what does that make you feel now that you're reaching out to these people? Like you're ready to come out in the forefront instead of being on the back scene when you're usually calling people. It's like, yo, I have an idea. Let's put this together. But it's like, yo, listen, I'm outside. I'm doing my journalistic work now. I have a show. You know, what is that? What is those? Is the conversation really different now, or you get what I'm trying to tell you?
Yeah, it's actually so. Here's the thing, though. So I pivoted because I told you the whole artist thing. Like I'm weeding away from that, right? But also, I feel like since we started the magazine, I was already interviewing people anyway. The only difference is now, I used to do it mostly over the phone because it was more convenient. Especially when you interviewing somebody that has some status, right? It's hard to get them available. You know what I mean? You got to constantly ping, and then you got a deadline for the magazine. It's like, yo. So I used to be like, you know what? Let's just do a phone call. I record it, then send it to my writer to transcribe it and blah, blah, blah. So there's so many people that I've interviewed that I didn't get a chance to do it in person to make it count for me. You know what I mean? I rather the in-person interviews. It just is almost like people rather a tangible magazine instead of digital, right? So that's how I feel. So I already had that experience, but then people kept telling me like, you're good at it. Like you should keep doing that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I kept hearing it enough. Then I said, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna really try to do this thing, like legitimately do it. You know what I mean? And then, you know, then I got the situation with the bill, you know what I mean? And then that helped magnify and take that to the next level.
Talking about that situation, I want to talk about congratulations first and foremost.
Appreciate it.
You have a show. What's the name of this show?
Indie Streets Live.
Indie Streets Live. It's called Indie Streets Live, where you curate your your conversations with different artists. You have some big names on there so far. You want to elaborate?
Sure. So, the first person I had up there was Akon. I had Akon. I had Rick Ross recently. I got Waka Flocka coming up. I got Crystal Waters coming up. And I got a list of other people that agreed. I'm just waiting for them, the availability. And now, a lot of people ask me, like, how did you like get these names and stuff? But the thing is, I know a lot of people, and back to me saying, not when a person say, oh, shit, I heard of you, I seen you. I'm still shocked, always, right? But then that's how these things came about. People been watching, even when I didn't think they were watching. You know what I'm saying? And people like, yo, I like the way you interview. I like your style. You know what? I got somebody for you. Yo, you want to do this? Hell yeah, I want to do that. Why not? You know what I'm saying? And then it happened. And then to hear the people like Akon that I'm interviewing, and they're like, yo, man, like, I enjoyed the interview. It was dope. You know what I'm saying? Other people outside of that is looking like, damn, like, it didn't even seem like, it was like I had such chemistry. It was like a conversation more than just really an interview. And that's how I like to do it. I like to just talk. You know what I'm saying? That's
what I like too. I'm big on the conversation and really getting in depth rather than to ask you a million questions.
Exactly.
That people would tune out to.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have genuine conversation where people could actually relate to.
Absolutely.
And me seeing you doing this now, very proud. You know what I'm saying? Very happy for you, because I feel like when you interviewed me, I felt like back then, you know what I'm saying? This is a while ago when you interviewed me. I felt like you knew what you was doing then.
Appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? So to come all these years later and see you doing it and seeing you do it with the artists on the scale that they're the artists you have, you know, I'm just super happy for you. You know what I'm saying? It's called Indie Streets Live. I know Indie Streets Live started with a show outside. You know what I'm saying?
It was so
before it became a show like
podcast style?
Podcast style, yeah.
And I don't even like using that word, but I say
that.
It, you know, but so there's a method to my madness. So the name, I put live on it, right? Because initially it started with a live audience. I called it a talk show because technically it was, right? I said, what's different from this than any other talk show? I was on a stage. Yeah. I had a live audience. I had a big screen behind me. I had people perform, you know, interview. It was dope. It was a vibe. It became complicated, like to get all of my camera guys available at the same time. Then it was all the way in Brooklyn, where I was doing it at, you know, where I'm all the way up top. Like distance. So it was just a lot. And then I was like, you know, I said, I'm going to step away from that for now. Yeah. But I'm going to keep the name. So even though I don't have a live audience, I still call it live because I am going to incorporate a live audience in the studio still. A small live audience. I'm going to do that still.
Do you feel like you're going to get to, I know you have a lot of big name artists. Do you feel like there's certain particular independent artists? Because it is indie streets. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Would you want to have a, you know, in between those big name artists, would you grab independent artists to showcase them as well and still give that, you know, who the core of who you were? Right. You know what I'm saying? To these new audiences that's watching this show?
That's inevitable. But so the approach that I'm taking now is, it's funny that you asked me that because I had a cab driver ask me that. Yeah. He was like, yeah, but it's indie street. So, you know, I said, so the thing is, I said, look, when we started the magazine, we call it Indie Gatekeepers, right? The point of that magazine was to reverse the process of what is going on. Double XL is a mainstream magazine that sometimes incorporates indie. Our magazine was an indie magazine that sometimes incorporated mainstream.
Which you did.
Yeah, exactly. So now I'm starting out with huge names to really build
it up.
And then I'm going to handpick, because it got to be super selected with the people that I sit down with, period. Not even just there. Because there's people I'm going to interview that they're not going to be in there. I'm going to do it somewhere else. But I'm trying to be super selective now. Like, I don't want to just do everybody. Like, before it was like, whatever. Now it's like, I feel like I'm at a point where I need to be super selective. Don't get me wrong. Like, I have an eye. So even a guy that could have started rapping last week, I would interview him, which sounds crazy, with no real followers. I would interview him if I really see, like, yo, that kid right there, I can see it.
You has to be something.
Yeah, it's just something about the person I got to see, you know? But it is indie still. And yes, I'm definitely going to interview, because there's some, I listen to indie music. I don't really listen to mainstream. You know what I mean? It ain't, unless they old school rappers like the older ones, not the new ones. I don't really listen. I listen to independent artists. Like, to me, they the hottest ones out right now. So indie is the new mainstream. That's what I tell them. Indie is new mainstream. Yeah. But yeah, I would. It just gotta make sense. It gotta make sense. Yeah. Because the thing is, the process of me getting to that space, what it takes for me to make that happen,
it's a lot.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it got to make sense.
It has to be. It has to make sense, because it does take. It's a lot of moving parts to just make your show happen.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say,
cameraman, I got all these guys a lot. So
congratulations to you on that again. You know what I'm saying? Right. Do you want to tell anybody else anything you got going on?
Yeah. So
first, wait. First and foremost, Indie Streets Live. When can we catch this, and how often can we catch this show?
So I interview somebody at least once a month. Okay. And there might be times like this month, coming up June, I'm going to be doing a few people, not just one. But typically it's at least one a month. And after I interview them, the video is up. Usually I give it about 2 weeks. Edits and throw some shorts out there just to kind of get some anticipation. So in other words, you'll see a video like possibly every 6 weeks. Okay. You know what I'm saying? At least.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
So people can know exactly. And where can YouTube, where can they go find it?
GGMG Enterprises, plural. GGMG Enterprises is the YouTube page. They could tap in, they could just, subscribe, and they'll get notification every time I throw something up there. So to touch on what else I'm doing, so it's a lot more to that. That indie streets, right? So right now I'm interviewing people. I'm about to incorporate different segments in that one piece to make it a full production. So I'm going to interview people. Then I just launched Gem's Closet. Okay. Gem's Closet is where I'm taking designers and I'm introducing their clothes, their brand to the world, and highlighting what's in my closet. In other words, what I fuck with, right? Okay. So that right there launch, and then I have Gem's Vocal Chamber. I don't know if you remember, we did that thing years ago. Yeah. Vocal Chamber Live. Vocal Chamber Live, yeah. Now I said I didn't want to lose that because we built something with it. So I said, let me just cut the live off that and put Vocal Chamber for the drop the mic. Yeah. So now I'm doing something like that. That's part of it. And then I'm going to keep extending segments in that one show. So now when I chop it up, you already got the interview. You got the music video countdown in between, right? Then you're going to have Gem's Closet. It's going to be like MTV. Yeah. So I'm doing like a full production because I want to get paid. I want a major network to see like, oh shit. There's a lot going on. Yeah, there's a lot going on. And then the type of people that's going on with is what's really going to be enticing to the network. So I feel like by this time next year, I'm going to be picked up. So let's note that right now. Note that right now. First time you heard that first. Yeah. Pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Yeah, I want to thank you so much for joining me and locking in with me and letting me know what's going on, man. Nah, man. Listen, you the man, brother. Yo, it actually is my pleasure to have you on the show. You know what I'm saying? We do so much work, and I definitely wanted it, not only for me to give you flowers, but for people to know how much you put in, how much work you put in, not only yourself, Diamond Assist, shout to Diamond, shout out to the whole GGMG family for life. We locked in for life. You know that. Always. You know what I'm saying? King, man. Yeah, man. So, they can find me on my Instagram is official Gem Gallardo, Gallardo. All of that is together, _GGMG. Official Gem Gallardo _GGMG. Just type in GGMG. You're going to see them. Everything on You're going to see them. This is true. Indie Streets Live. INDIE Streets with a Z at the end. Live all together, no space. Indie Streets Live. IGK Magazine. What else? Well, actually, it's spelled out the whole thing. Indie Gatekeepers Magazine on Instagram. All those social medias. I'm in there. I'm in that magazine. So make sure you tap in. Make sure you grab that magazine. I am in there. Absolutely, man. Yo, thank you for coming through, bro. I appreciate it. I appreciate you for having me. All right, let's do it.